Hey everyone, just wanted to make a real quick little video on my opinion of these Lippert Quick Drop Stabilizers that came on my 2023 Forest River Salem Cruise Lite 263 BHXL. What these are advertised as is a quick drop stabilizer, and they, in my opinion, are junk. Their whole mechanism works by essentially you using, a socket to turn this so that way this part here that would sit on the ground lowers. Now, it's very clear that these say that, you're not supposed to use these unless you have 16 inches of clearance. And what it requires you to have is, as these fall, this arm here would get basically above this red line. Now, what it says here, okay, is do not use stabilizer when the telescoping leg is behind this indicator plate. That's fine and dandy, okay? Very well understandable, okay? Don't use these unless you have 16 inches of clearance underneath them. Okay, but the major issue that you have here is you can see that there's this type of claw, okay? And that's what I think what they call it, this claw that's way inside here. Okay, you can see it's kind of bending around and going down into the stabilizer itself, okay? Now, that claw rests inside these cutouts that go all the way back, okay? So yeah, you do have a lot of varying degree for which you can get stabilization or drop these two depending on certain heights. Frustrating thing is, okay, you need 16 inches. Now, where we go camping a lot here locally is, around bodies of water. And so imagine, okay, back end is sloping, towards the lake, okay? And so what you need to do to get that level is you've got to drop your front down, all right? Now, if anyone knows anything about campers that are, decently long, their axles are going to be towards the back. All right. So a majority of the weight that you're going to get your movement from is going to be towards the front, which in a lot of cases, at least in our camper as well, you've got your master bedroom and then, decent portion of your living quarters up there towards the front. All right. So you need to have some type of stabilization for that. Without having, you sloping towards the back, you lower the front to raise the rear up, okay? These work fine. I really haven't had many issues with this rear set because where we camp, like I said, we're raising the rear, lowering the front. Now, what can happen, and ultimately what is the biggest flaw, is all of that weight that you're trying to jack up is resting on that claw right there. They may think it's the strongest claw in the world. It's not. I've gone through 3 of them, and not doing anything crazy, not having 50 people in my camp or something like that, camp with a family of 3. And so it's just, it's not a good system. It is junk. You can't rely on a couple thousand pounds to rest on a simple piece of metal clamp like that. Because what will happen, which in my case it has twice, that clamp will fold in on itself, okay? Now, the fun thing that happens with that is they're a pain in the butt to get out. They're holding by a bolt, so you got to figure out how to get to that bolt. And while they're attached to the camper, at that, and what that means will happen is that you cannot jack these all the way back up, like they're in transport position right now. Okay, so it comes with this nice little fine and dandy clip that you're supposed to attach onto there. Something really strong. I think they classify this as some type of emergency clamp system. Joke as well. They will break, because mine has, or maybe not break, but just bend beyond being able to work correctly, and allow this whole thing to just fall down. And that's what would happen right now, except I was lucky enough to be traveling down the road and have that weight of this break that clip. This fell down, banged the concrete. So if I try to hold this, let's see, somewhat horizontal and straight here, these are now ruined. Junk design, junk piece of equipment. Do not recommend buying them. The previous system, the JT Strong Arm that I had on a previous camper, much more reliable and, able to provide stabilization to the camper wholeheartedly. So if you've got these on your camper and you're experiencing these issues, you're not the only one. If you camp in an area where the area you're going to be camping on is perfectly flat, you get 16 inches underneath them, Maybe they'll work better for you than they did for me, but I'm still pretty highly skeptical. I'm going to be replacing these with just, 4 individual regular stabilizer jacks, and throw these in the junk. Because one of the most interesting things is, you look at the model number, part number, type both of those in. They don't appear on Lippert's website. You can't find them anywhere on Google. In order to get replacement parts, I first attempted to contact the dealer. They had a hard time finding something, so they contacted Lippert for me. They ended up getting a couple of those new clamps. So, like I said, I think they pulled these off the shelves because they realized how foobar they are. So, sorry for you if you're watching this video, because I'm sure you have had pain and suffering like I have. So, take care.